Hold on. I have a little weird setup right here, and I'm trying not to drop the phone.
There you go.
My sister kidnapped my tripod and has not returned it, so we're working with what we got. I have a
Yeah.
mini tripod, but it's literally like a tabletop one, so I'll just try to make it work.
Yeah. As long as you're here, Lleo, it's all that matters. And Zane be nosy. He wasn't nowhere near her. And then the camera got on, and all of a sudden, he all in the
Yeah, girl.
camera. Attention
What's
seeking
wrong with
much?
you? What's wrong?
Oh.
Are you okay? Lay down. Lay down.
Said, Mama,
Oh,
you
boy.
warm. You warm. Can I lay with you? That's
We was like literally cuddling last night.
true.
He was the little spoon and I was the big spoon.
One thing I hate that our dog does is he's a big dog, so he'll go under the covers. He loves to go under the covers to sleep. But y'all, he's too big. He can't last long under the cover because he gonna get too hot.
Yeah.
Like, so then he gotta get out. And this happens like it seemed like every 30 minutes. This
Oh
dog,
no.
and it's just like
Going
it's a
back and forth
cycle.
between hot and cold.
Yes, girl. Then he's like, oh, I want to go back in. Like, boy, this dog is literally like a child, like a newborn baby. You got to get up every 30 minutes,
Oh man.
every hour. That's how that dog is.
Aren't all these animals like that?
I ain't never met one like this one. This one just got the extra sauce. He's everything extra. Get your extra, everything extra with a side of extra. That's it. His name should literally be changed from Taz to Extra.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Oh my goodness. Woo, y'all. We went in on that last Bible study. Listen, if you ain't watched the last one, you better go watch the last one. The last one. We hit all kind of points. That's all I'm saying. We went in.
I apologize. I'm gonna just go ahead and apologize right now for making funny faces because I have the doors closed because I think I told you guys yesterday I have a guest cat and I just found out. Well, it's like I think it was a stray. I thought maybe it belonged to my neighbors, but I think it was a stray. And I just found she's sick, so I have to keep her away from my other pets. But I'm also trying to kind of socialize them because she's not used to. Like she's really afraid. So I'm trying to like get them to see each other from a distance. But I have her in the other room, and I'm in my room with my pets. You know, the dog, the cat, and I keep hearing something. I think she's being active right now, like she wants some attention. So I think she's climbing on stuff. But it's freaking me out because it's like I don't know what's up with these animals, bro. They be so tiny. They be so tiny, but sound like a grown ass man trying to break into my house. Excuse my language.
Oh.
I
So
got freaked out for a second.
she's really trying to be about that life. She's trying to break down doors and stuff.
Yeah, I think she got a little more energy now, so which is good. I mean, she's getting better.
Yeah. Oh.
I literally before we got on the live, I went to go check on her real quick because my dog was pacing and uh she's active. She's like walking around the room. She want to walk around the house. Like I think she's getting bored of being in that room by herself.
Oh. Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
and then him, he's just nosy. He's just nosy, bro.
nosy. It's funny.
But okay, okay. Don't waste no more time. Look like we're going through some more laws here.
Oh, yeah. Because we left on chapter, we're about to be on 23.
Yep.
Okay.
I hope this is the last chapter of laws.
We hope so.
But okay, I'll give a quick recap of 22 real quick. Oh wait, I'm in the different. There we go. Can you get off the camera? Okay. So, quick summary of 22. Um, it's just more laws, y'all. It's just
Well,
more
the
laws.
laws have been interesting. So,
Yeah, we did
it,
get into a really deep conversation yesterday. Barely even got through. Barely even got through this chapter.
yeah.
But
And then I think what we're reading today is probably a continuing from chapter 22, which is laws about social justice. Um, because, like, what we noticed, I can't even show you, but all of the titles basically have I mean, all the chapters basically have titles, but I don't know if you can see it, but chapter 23 doesn't have one, and it's like continuing
yeah,
from the prior one. So, like she said, the laws are just continuing, but I'm pretty sure they're probably about social justice laws.
yeah.
But yeah,
I was gonna try to get into the summary like I did yesterday, but it's just so many laws. It's like
I
you
mean,
just
uh, well, let me see. I would
unless
just
you want to do the
go.
summary.
Well, I would make it brief. I could do it. Where were we? Oh, we did 22, right? Yeah, 22.
Mhm.
So basically, if somebody breaks one of these laws, if somebody breaks one of these laws, whether they steal an animal, like they steal an animal, or they steal items in the house, or they steal people's like food in their land, uh, or burn their land, and ruin their like farm land. Um, Basically, the punishment is they're gonna have to pay like either times two, like times double or more. So it could be times double or it could be times five. Okay, so basically, you do a crime and you get caught, you're gonna be in a worse situation than when you started. So it's
Yeah.
like the main message is don't do like it's not worth doing criminal activity for what the punishment is going to be.
Mhm.
Um, and then basically, I think it's still if you like take a life, then a life like your life is gonna have to be taken as well. Like for the ultimate punishment, like for an eye for an eye. Like you kill somebody, but there do be some loops. Sometimes they be saying some weird stuff. Sometimes, do you remember what they be saying? Like sometimes they say, but if this, then the life doesn't have to be taken type stuff. I don't even understand.
I think it depends on the circumstances, basically. Like,
Yeah.
the only thing I can really think of without getting deep into reading this again is there was a point where they were talking about what was it? I think it was I think it was like um I think it was like if the like for example like if your animal goes and grazes on another man's land. I don't remember, honestly. I can't
Okay.
remember.
That one was it in this chapter?
I think so.
I I think let me see. Yeah, I don't remember if neighbor. Oh, this one. If a man causes a field or vineyard to be grazed over, or lets his beast loose and it feeds in another man's field, he shall make restitution from the best of his own field in his own vineyard. But that's not nothing about killing. Um, Basically, the person whose animals those was, they would have to literally find the best of the best on their land and give it away. They'd have to literally
Um,
give it away for free. So they're gonna be left with they're gonna be left in a worse situation. Like again,
yeah,
is that what you were talking about though? That section.
I think so. Stop it.
Well, I found really
Stop
interesting,
it.
guys, in chapter 22, because they started.
Zane,
This is the section about social justice. Um,
cut it out.
so there was a couple laws here, like you shall not permit a sorceress to live, which we said is somebody who practice
Magic.
manipulation of energy.
Somebody that practice magic, basically.
Whoever lies with an animal should be put to death, which I find this disturbing that this is in here. Like they had to put this in here because they knew some people would be doing this. Like it's
People
cringe.
do. People definitely do.
Um, and then whoever sacrifices to any god other than the Lord shall be devoted to destruction. You shall not wrong a sojourner. You shall not mistreat or widow a fatherless child. Um, or you'll be punished. But what I found very interesting, guys, was the fact that you're not supposed to lend money to people who are poor, and give them interest. Like that's literally um, like evil. Like not following a rule to the Lord.
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds
and I
like just
find it,
an ethical or moral thing
yeah,
value.
yes, because at that point, that's for your own gain and greed. And it's like because you have a lot, for the people who don't have a lot, you're taking their time of need and time of crisis to your own gain. And it
Hmm.
sucks. And yeah, it's bad. And it had me thinking about all these payday loan places, cash one places. Like, people go to those places when they're in just a really bad situation to probably, either they're about to be homeless type stuff, right? Because you can't pay your rent on the first, or you have like one of those bills probably that if you don't take care of it, like something's gonna get repossessed. Maybe you might go to jail type stuff, like just stuff like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's crazy because the interest rate on them places too, from what I'm remembering, I think it starts off at like, I honestly think it starts off at like 100%, like interest,
Oh,
100%. It goes to like 300%. It's something crazy. I don't know
yeah,
offhand. So basically, it's something that you're gonna want to pay off as soon as possible. You're not gonna want that to be any type of length because you'll just be in a hole. You'll be worse off than what you started, basically.
yeah.
The way these punishments are going. Um, and then
It's like taking advantage of somebody who's in a desperate situation.
yes, and then the Lord said for those people, like if they cry out to the Lord and they cry out to Him because they're in that situation, I think. Hold on. Oh no, that's for something else. This was just saying, like, if you take somebody's clothes or something, their last bit of wear, and you literally leave them naked, and they're cold and they're just crying, the Lord's gonna hear him and be compassionate, and he's probably going to punish whoever took his clothes, type stuff. And then it was just saying, we ended up this chapter saying, you know, really everybody and God's children, and the children, are God's children, you know. And it was just saying, like, the firstborn of your sons you shall give to me, um, and you shall do the same with your animals. And basically, we were just talking about how, like, God, all your children are really God's children, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's created them and put them in His image.
Yeah.
That's it.
Basically, I think we also realize that all of these laws are just to back up the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. I
Yep.
think it's interesting for the simple fact that the Ten Commandments was just one chapter. It's just 10 commandments. But then there's 3 chapters of action points to not do. Specifically, to not do. Like, you got one chapter of what you are supposed to be doing and 3 chapters of what you're not supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me think of well, I guess it's kind of backwards, but you know how they say like a negative is always stronger than a positive. And then
Oh.
they say like, you need 3 positives for every 1 negative.
Mm. That's some science.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's science, but I remember hearing like if you say something negative to somebody, you're supposed to, or even if you say something negative to yourself, you're supposed to give 3 positives to replace that 1 negative.
I can't lie, I don't remember hearing about that.
Yeah, so like for example, if I sat here and called myself ugly, like, oh, I'm so ugly, and I'm trying to reprogram the way I'm thinking, I'm supposed to give myself 3 positives to replace that negative. So instead of saying, oh, I'm ugly, I'm supposed to be like, I'm beautiful, I'm patient, and I'm understanding, or something like that. Did you freeze? She froze? You're gone, girl. You're gone. You out of here. Excuse me. Let me see what's going on. Mm. Now, I wonder if her phone died, which would be very interesting if her phone died. But because she's not answering me, and she's gone. So I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna just continue. I'm gonna praise in here. So, Divine Father and Mother, thank you for hosting this space for us today. Thank you for gathering us all together so we can learn and grow in your word. Lord, and I just pray that whatever's going on Mariah's end, that she's able to figure it out and recover. And I pray for your people today. I pray that we all receive a word that fills us spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I pray that you give us a word that um, fulfills us throughout the rest of our day. Lord, and I pray that you bestow blessings upon us all. I pray that you open up the eyes of your people today, that they may be able to see the abundance of blessings that you have provided for them. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and continue with 23 and see if Mariah ends up coming back eventually, but we're going to see. So, Exodus 23, you shall not spread a false report. Um, you shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. Okay, she's come back in. You should not fall in. Are you good, girl?
My phone overheated, y'all.
What happened?
My phone overheated. It shut all the way down.
Oh no.
Yeah. My bad.
Is it good, girl?
Yeah, it's good now. It's because of the heater.
Oh, why you got? Oh, you
Girl,
got
it's
the
cold.
heater.
I know I'm in the desert, but it's cold now.
Okay.
It's like, shoot, it had to been like 50 something. It was pretty cold.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I already prayed because I didn't know how long it's going to take you to come back, and I started.
Oh, I missed it. It's okay.
I'm gonna just continue.
Okay.
Um, I'm on verse 2.
Oh, okay.
You shall not fall in with the many to do evil, nor shall you bear witness in a lawsuit, siding with the many, so as to pervert justice, nor shall you be partial to a poor man in his lawsuit. Um, if you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall bring it back to him. If you see the donkey of one who hates you lying down under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving him with it. You shall rescue it with him.
That's interesting. So don't don't let your hatred or you feeling like that's your enemy, so you're not gonna help them. Like you still gotta help them even if they're your enemy.
Yeah.
Mm,
If they're in a place of need,
yeah.
or
That's
even if their animals in a place of need, or their property, you should
mm,
be still willing to help your neighbor.
yep.
Zane, what are you chewing on? Oh, okay. I thought I threw that thing away, bros. Sorry. This dog just likes to do whatever he wants, and so I have to just check on him.
That's funny. Girl, just in it.
You said what?
It's his world. You're just in it.
Girl. You know how many times I take this dog for a walk and somebody's like, "Are you walking the dog or is he walking you?"
Uh-uh. That's
That honestly, that question makes me so annoyed. I get so annoyed when people ask me like,
It's crazy because that dog is little, girl. He's
for
trying to be.
real.
That's funny. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Anyways,
Oh.
okay. So you shall not pervert the justice due to your poor in his lawsuit.
Hmm.
Keep far, keep far from a false charge, and do not kill the innocent and righteous. For I will not acquit, acquit the wicked, and you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the clear-sighted, and subverts the cause of those who are in the right.
Mhm.
I like that because I like that they explain exactly why you're not supposed to be taking a bribe.
Yeah.
Why it's wrong to take a bribe.
Yeah. And it's definitely self-explanatory too. They said that.
You said what?
I said it's self-explanatory too. The way they said it is because like um it'll put somebody who's innocent behind bars basically for punishment. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah,
It alters your influence.
yeah. Um, you should not oppress a sojourner. You know the heart of a sojourner, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. And I think the Lord set this law in the past two, or in the past chapter, or the past two chapters.
Yeah, I think the past two chapters, girl, because he just said it in the last chapter about so a sojourner is like a traveling person, right? A person that's on the like they're traveling to get to somewhere. Am I
Yeah, they travel and they may like find a place and rest there temporarily, but that's not their permanent place.
mm. The Lord has a place for them to go and they have to get there for a reason.
You said what?
It makes me feel like a sojourner. The reason that they're on a path, they're on a journey, is because they're trying to get somewhere that the Lord wants them to get to, and
Mhm.
to provide for that person,
Yeah.
uh, on that journey.
Yeah. Yeah. It like the word itself, like you said before, it makes you think of soul's journey. So it's like
Mm,
a
yeah,
whole life journey.
yeah.
Okay. So laws about the Sabbath and festivals. Where am I? I lost it. Okay.
10.
Okay. For 6 years you shall sow your land and gather in its yield. But the seventh year you shall let it rest and lie fallow, that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the fields may eat. You shall do likewise with your vineyard and with your or olive orchard.
This is so interesting. We keep talking about that, like the 6 day, the 6 year, or for 6 years, let it what is it like? Gather your land, let it do what it needs to do. But on the seventh year, you're gonna let it rest and leave it alone.
Hmm.
But it's gonna work. Like you don't have to work for it. It's gonna do the work by
Like
itself.
automated,
Huh?
like automated.
Yeah, like you put in the work already for the 6 years, and that seventh year, you take a rest, let it do what it's gonna do. All that work you put in is going to manifest into the like you're gonna get the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
I'm really liking
Okay. Yeah.
interested as we read what other lines they're about to start saying about this. Like 6 years, this, and the last year rest. And I see the examples that they use moving forward.
Yeah. I'm interested. Okay, so it says 6 days you shall do your work, but on the seventh day you shall rest, excuse me, that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and the son of your servant women and the alien may
Hmm.
be refreshed.
The alien.
Yeah, so I'm like, what?
I never knew they would have that in this Bible.
I'm trying to see something real quick. Hold on.
Because an alien also means like, don't they call it an alien like somebody who's not from this country? It's just like a terminology.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think they're just referring at like an alien as like somebody foreign
Mhm.
or a stranger.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to check a different book real quick.
Yeah.
Pay attention to all that I have said to you, and make no mention of the name of other gods, nor let it be heard on your lips. 3 times in the year you shall keep a feast to me. You shall keep the feast of unleavened bread, as I commanded you. You shall eat unleavened bread for 7 days at the appointed time in the month of Abib, for for in it you came out of Egypt, which is January. Abib is January.
Mhm.
Um, None shall appear before me empty handed. You shall keep the feast of harvest, of your first fruits of your labor, of what you sow in this of what you sow in the field. You shall keep the feast of ingathering at the end of the year. Wait, hold on. So okay, so the second feast is you shall keep the feast of harvest, of the first fruits of your labor, of what you sowed in the field. And then the third is to keep the feast of ingathering at the end of the year. When you gather when you gather in from the field the fruit of your labor. 3 times in the year shall all your males appear before the Lord. Um, I guess I'm confused
What?
with these other two feasts.
Oh, when they are?
hmm
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it. So like if I just go off of a whim, it sounds like the first one in January, the second one probably around springtime when things are starting, or maybe like right at the beginning of summer when things are starting to sprout again and reproduce. And then and then like the end of summer or beginning of fall, right before everything starts to die and shrivel up again.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
would say January though. Okay.
Huh?
Said January.
January
Okay.
is the beginning.
Mhm.
January, what was it, 14th through the 17th? No, 14th through the 21st. Um, that's when we're supposed to be eating no leaving bread,
Mhm.
And then the second one, they said, um, the first fruits of your labor, which I would kind of take as like maybe like springtime when things are starting to sprout again, like the first fruit to be produced. I don't know if that's like spring or the beginning of summer.
Mhm.
The first fruits being produced, and then it says um, a feast of ingathering at the end of the year. when you gather in from the field the fruit of your labor. So
Yeah.
this is like harvest season,
Yeah.
which would be like fall, beginning of winter.
Yeah. To give gratitude to all that, to have all those that produce
Hmm.
and grains.
Oh, okay. You know what I just thought about? This is this is a thought I'm gonna share. So there's 4 seasons, right? There's
Mhm.
4 seasons. Read between the lines. In transition, in transition of the seasons, there's 3 transitions, right?
Mhm.
And those 3 times, those 3 times is when the Lord's asking for a feast towards them. So what in the beginning of the year, that's like winter. Well, January is still winter, so
Mhm.
that's just very specific. So that's winter time. There's no transition there, but the transition between spring and summer, and then the transition between fall and winter,
Yeah.
harvest season.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got perspective.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense,
It does.
but
It does.
excuse me.
What's up?
Okay, you want to pick up?
um, are you on 18?
Yeah.
Okay. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, or let the fat of my feast remain until morning. Oof, that's no leftovers. What if for Thanksgiving we're not supposed to be having leftovers, y'all? That just had me think that was our last holiday.
Yeah.
Uh, the best of the first fruits of your ground you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall
I
not.
wonder. I don't know if we already asked this question, but I'm just like going. Like I read. I'm kind of stuck on this part where you say you should not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, which I'm just thinking about, like, basically it's saying whatever you use to sacrifice as an offering and you eat it, you're not supposed to be eating it with leavened bread. So I'm wondering, like, what is the deeper meaning of leaven?
So is leaving
Why?
the it doesn't have the yeast in it, or is it the unleavened? I'm still getting confused.
Leaven is it's not only yeast. Leaven basically, like, yeast is leaven,
Hmm.
but baking soda is also leaven. It's
Okay,
basically anything that causes a rising reaction.
there's
So,
a bigger reason.
or causes a reaction, I guess is another way to say it.
Oh, you mean like almost like scientifically and spiritually, like what does that leaven bread do in the body?
Well, I do wonder scientifically what it does in the body, but from a spiritual perspective, why the Lord is very insistent on not having leaven in the food.
I really think it's because it does something in the body that I don't think the body is supposed to get a lot of like it's supposed to be having a lot of reactions from it. Like we're not supposed to consume it often
Hmm.
that we do because I think it's probably harmful to the body in some way. It could cloud our mind. Like if I had to guess, I feel like it could cloud our mind and create that brain fog, or
Mm.
it cause some type of reaction in the body once it's consumed and it sits there and start breaking down or something. Like it probably does something to where maybe it even overworks other organs and other parts of the body. And maybe it brings some type of like harm to the body. Like, it makes the body have to work harder to get rid of that.
I'm gonna ask a dietitian and a scientist, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this
I
leaving.
I would be interested because I think we're gonna be discussing, probably hearing it a lot more. So
Yeah,
we've already heard it several times already.
yeah, for sure. Okay.
If we probably could go into the Jewish community and try to get some information that way too. And that guy that popped up in our live that one day, he probably would know some more about that too.
Oh yeah,
But that, you know,
yeah. He probably do know something. I wonder.
he'd have to.
I wonder if, or even like Muslim people have a better explanation.
Possibly. Do they also believe in that same thing with the leaven bread?
I'm not sure.
Well, I know the Jewish people, the Jewish community does, because their products, when I was looking for unleavened stuff, I mean unleavened stuff, a lot of their food popped up, like crackers and some type of little dough balls, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I think because the only reason I brought up Muslim is because I'm pretty sure the Muslim community believes pretty similar to the Bible. The only difference is they don't believe Christ.
Hmm, gotcha.
Um, I think it's the New Testaments that they don't really believe.
Okay. um all right, I'm gonna just the best of the first fruits of your ground you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. Um, you shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk.
That's just intense.
Girl, what? Oh my gosh. I had to really think about what this is saying for a minute. That is
I don't
aggressive.
know what I don't know what that means.
Girl, because goats produce milk. So I'm wondering if they're saying don't, but who does that? Who would have a pot full of goat milk and put a goat in it? Like what?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is curry.
Oh my goodness, you're right. Some type of stew. Oh man, I forgot. Milk is used as a thickener. Um, okay. Um, Conquest of Canaan promise. Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on the way and to bring you to the place that I have prepared. Pay careful attention to him and obey his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. But if you carefully obey his voice and do all that I say, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. Oh, that's interesting. So if you listen to what I have to say and you listen basically to the man, oh yeah, the angel, that I bring before you, then I'm gonna take care of your enemies basically. Like you're not gonna have to worry about it. You're protected. Um,
I wonder if this angel New Age looks like Jesus.
I don't know.
Because I know God sent Jesus as a person, and it talks about how God sent Jesus as a person, and now he's like his right hand. But like the spirit of Jesus is what, if we're guided by the spirit of Jesus, is what helps us to build our relationship with the Lord. I also a lot of times I think about when I think about Jesus, I'm thinking about him as a like a guide, or like not a guide, like a well, like a guide, but like a like a physical representation of how we're supposed to be living our life out. Like he came as a human to show us as humans that we're still able to walk out this life like the image of God has for us. Um, if we just follow his follow his guidance and his lead. So I kind of wonder, like, they're saying like an angel to guide us, but I'm like wondering, okay, I know there's angels, but I wonder if that's also kind of like a tip towards Christ.
A tip towards Christ.
Hmm.
What you mean?
Just like a little, like without directly saying, I sent Jesus before you to guide you on your path and bring you to the place that I prepared to bring you to heaven. Instead of saying Jesus, he's saying, I sent an angel.
Oh, I see. I'm also thinking what came in my head is like when I'm thinking about an angel and an angel comes into you, I think like it looks like a regular person to him, but it's an angel, right? That's my opinion. I think if an angel appears, I think we've all may have encountered an angel before.
I
And we
believe so.
and like I'm gonna be honest, like for some reason this is coming back to this moment in my life. Like just I started thinking about this. So I'm gonna just share it with you because this is what came into my head. Clear as day, y'all. I can't remember a lot of stuff, but I remember this specific day. I was working in a retail store and this man came into my line, and I remember thinking at that time, like, at that job, it was my first like real job. And I'm just like, this ain't it. Like, I don't know who thought this is normal. I don't know how this is normal. Like, I'm here at work trying to make this money and I have to be here for this certain amount of hours. You know what I'm saying? Like a full work day to live, to make my money. And I'm just sitting here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not benefiting me really any type of way except like being nice to people. Uh,
Hmm.
and this man came in my line and he was with his two daughters. They looked to be around the same age, like, and they were what really caught me about this family, you know, after me seeing all these other families, it happened to be a black family. And he was just talking to his daughters very politely, very nice, like, and they seemed well mannered and just really listening. And I think they were being helpful to put, the stuff down on there on the belt. And then, this man had kind of looked at me, and I don't know what made him say this, but he was like, you know, this, he said, this is just temporary. This is just a stop. This is not where you're going to stay at. And he was talking about me being a cashier. And I just thought that was so deep because, like I said, in that moment, those like the thoughts I was having in my head was just like, and I don't really think I was having that on my face at all. I don't like bring my bad day into work type stuff, like I'm not going to do that. But that's what that man said to me that day. And it was just like, I don't know. It's just a thought that I haven't, just don't seem like I'm gonna forget that.
It just stuck with you
It just really
forever.
stuck with me. And I was just like, just, you know,
Yeah,
and he had a very presence about him though, too. Like some type of majestic presence, honestly.
yeah.
Like not even like, yeah. It was
I do believe that there are, there are angels on the earth. I believe that there's fallen angels on the earth. I do believe that, there's regular people who, maybe there was an angel at one point and like I said, they fall and then just become human.
Mm, it's interesting. Too much about angels, to be honest.
Hmm?
I haven't I haven't thought too much about angels. You
I
know,
have. I
yeah.
have. I have thought a lot about angels just cuz of the type of work that I used to do.
Mhm.
I used to dive a lot into the spiritual realm and just dealing with spirits and deities and all different types of energies, you
Mm,
know. So I know a little bit.
okay.
I know a little something about angels. I know that there's like, for example, talking about angels, you know that like demons are just this is this is something I actually really like to say. Demons are just like angels without a purpose. Like
Mm,
like their purpose was stolen or twisted. And so,
hmm. It's interesting.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
do believe in angels. I just like I said, like I just haven't thought about it deeply.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm actually planning on I don't know if I'm going to do I think I'm going to do a YouTube series just to put the information out there. But I might do a YouTube series or I might hold it like a class.
Mhm.
I might just do a YouTube series cuz not that I don't think that anybody would invest in it, but I just believe that that information should be readily available to people so that you know what type of energy or entity that you might be dealing with, you know. Having the knowledge that, everything is energy and all energy ain't good. And so
Are
you just have to have awareness.
are you meaning like talking about angels like there's good and bad ones? Is that what you mean?
Like I was thinking about doing a whole series on different kind of spirits and energies and deities and all these different,
Oh,
like all these in the spiritual realm.
girl, why you started talking about that and that phone glitched out like crazy?
I heard it.
Girl, the frequencies here, bro. But okay,
They know I'm gonna count the heat, bro. I just have to. I don't know when I'm gonna make it. I have to like plan it out because when I do that series, I want to make sure that I cover everything.
yeah.
Honestly,
Mm,
there's so much.
okay. That sounds lit. I can't wait to see that in action. Come on, Leo, let's go. Come on, Leo, let's go.
I
Okay. Where was I at?
think you're at 23, aren't you?
Probably. Yeah. Um, when my angel goes before you and brings you to the Amorites and the Hittites, and the Perizzites and the Kenites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I blot them out. You shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do as they do, but you shall utterly overthrow them and break their pillars in pieces. Is that talking about like break their house down basically? Like pillars are the two front poles in front of their castles type stuff.
Yeah, so how I took that was basically this is going back to the commandment of not worshiping other gods before God.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to do that, the Lord's going to break it. a spirit, an angel to guide you, and they're going to guide you to a place that is going to be destructive for other people. And when the other people's land is destructed, you're not to bow down or fold or be afraid. You're to step up and be bold and take over that land.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
And that means, to me, when he's talking about break the pillars into pieces, I mean, you could talk about the pillars of a house in front of a house, but I also think of like, um, well, I guess I think about like value pillars. And so if I'm thinking about, they're talking about go in and take over that land, that's like to diminish what used to be so that you can build and create something new.
As you started talking about, bro, I got to thinking about, cause hold on, where is it? You shall you shall overthrow them and break their pillars. So he don't want you to kill them, but he wants you to be there to overthrow them, like to like be the next. What am I trying? Be their new leader, basically, and
Hmm.
the position and spread the Lord's word. But it
Hmm.
also like break the pillars in your mind, like break all the things that they thought and
Hmm.
transform them into God's image.
Yeah. This literally like changing your mindset, tearing down the old belief and building up something new in God's image.
Yeah. Let's see. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread, your water, and I will take sickness away from among you. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the
Barren, girl.
your days.
That's that word, barren.
Oh, barren. That meaning
Huh?
barren. Oh, you
Yeah.
were said it wrong.
You said barren.
Oh, barren in your land. Um, I will fulfill the number of days. I will send my chariots before you, and will throw into confusion all the people against whom you shall come, and I will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. Um,
Wait. Okay. This one is going deep. This one is going deep and it's making me think of like I could tell a whole I could tell a whole life story on this part. Like I feel like this is a process that I've gone through.
mhm.
I'm not going to because that's just going to take up too much time. But this part is going deep. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you, and I probably already know what you had on your mind. Um, but it kind of sound like what they're gonna send people into your life, and they're just gonna kind of shake your world, and you know you may leave. Once they kind of leave, you're like confused, like you don't understand what just happened.
Okay, let me simplify it. Let me simplify it. This is a process that the Lord takes. This is talking about a process the Lord takes you through when you're exiting out. To me, this sounds like when you're exiting out of the wilderness and you're walking into the land that you're walking into a new land the Lord has for
Mm-hmm.
you. It's as if you're like leaving Egypt, right? And you're walking towards this new land. And so in order to leave Egypt, right, you're guided by you're introduced to like an angel, Moses, that's going to guide you or guide you out of Egypt and blot those people out, blot out all those old ways of being, thinking, and doing, so that you're able to now start the process of reconstruction. And as you're starting the process of reconstruction, what you think it looks like is not what it's going to look like. You're actually going to face terror. You're going to face hardships. What it was talking about, you're going to face confusion, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to have faith while all those things are happening, that the Lord is keeping his promise of healing your sickness. I'm actually going to highlight this stuff. Healing your sicknesses, providing for you, and making you um like fertile or
Mm-hmm.
flourishing.
Yeah.
That's what it's making me think of.
Um. Oh, just real quick, this part too also had me thinking too, like they're gonna on that journey, like you said, into the wilderness, they're going to throw people in your way that's going to try to misguide you and have you make second guesses unto your path. And it's like, don't get fooled. Continue
Yeah,
on, like shake them off and continue your journey.
yeah,
With what he was saying right there.
yeah.
But it also had me thinking, girl, were you done with your thought, or were
I
you
mean,
still?
pretty much like what you just added to it, you know, like basically you're in a new land, but it's not going to look exactly what you think it's supposed to look like. Like you're still going to face terror, destruction. You're still going to face pain and hardships, but your perspective has to shift. And you
Mm-hmm.
have to know, like the Lord said, that you serve the Lord and that he will bless your bread and your water and take away any sickness from you. And no miscarriages will or miscarry, none will miscarry or be barren. And I'll fulfill the numbers of your days. So you have to know, while all these things look like it's just falling apart, like your enemies coming towards you, or you're just confused, you don't have clarity, full clarity, or it just looks like destruction and terror and chaos. You have to know and have the faith that the Lord is still providing for you through these tragedies.
Yeah. Mm,
Like things are happening around you, but because the Lord is with you, you're good.
yeah. Like trust the process. Trust
Hmm.
the um. So yeah, I just want to elaborate on that real quick. Is that when he started talking about like if you trust in me, I will provide all this for you, right? Uh,
Hmm.
I will provide a healing and just prosperity. And it just had me thinking too about people who, are that go to like people who have faith, right? They practice God's word, but like, do you fully practice it or do you half practice it? Like, type deal. Because, like, it matters. And I'm trying to think what I was trying to say. Oh, I was trying to say because I know people who I don't want to name all people, but I'm just saying like let's just say like you've had sickness and you've had sickness and stuff for a long time, like inflammation type things, like of just dis-ease. I'm not gonna bring cancer into this mix, but I'm just saying like a lot of things that you can do like healing for like naturally. uh
Hmm.
and it just had me think like if you're somebody who does practice your faith but you still have you've had all these issues, and it just had me think like, are you fully practicing it or do you still do things behind doors that are bad,
Mm.
not agree with, whether you're talking about people or judging others before you get to know them, or still treating your partner, your significant other or children some type of way that
Yeah,
a lot of people don't see, uh, or even project your own fears into another person,
yeah,
like those little things do matter.
yeah.
And I just feel like, it just had me thinking about that. Like, just because you practice the Lord's words sometimes, you know, you may not reap his benefits if you're still mistreating other people and still influencing people in a negative manner.
Yeah, yeah. That made me think of kind of like religion, right? Like you doing all these things on the outside, it looks like it, but behind closed doors,
Mm.
you're not. Your heart's not there.
Yeah, that's like going to church on Sunday, but on Saturday you was just turned up
At
at
the
the
club, shaking booty, drink,
smoking, drinking, turning up, and then
drinking 10 shots and cussing everybody out.
yeah, and you still got that alcohol in your system, and you about to go to church acting brand new.
Like I got the Holy Ghost.
Hey, girl, like first, sit down now. Barely made it to church. Let's be honest.
I mean, I can't lie, I've done it, but like you were saying, Mariah, you got to take a moment to self reflect and analyze your life and be honest with yourself
Yeah.
on, am I truly living out this thing as the Lord say, or am I just picking and choosing what I want to follow?
Mm,
Because at the
yeah.
end of the day, like my pastor be saying, like uh, in the Lord's kingdom, in the Lord's kingdom,
Ooh.
you have to follow the rules of the kingdom. It's not. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. It doesn't matter what you want. You have to follow the. You have to follow the rules of the kingdom. So
I, yeah, I have had too, and I think a good thought to have, like, do you feel guilt or shame in the things you do on a daily basis? And I
wait,
feel
say
like,
that one more time. You're skipping.
can you hear me better?
Yeah.
I said, I think too, a question to ask yourself to be reflective if you're like walking in God's image type stuff is like, do you feel any guilt or shame in what you do on a daily basis throughout your week? Like, do you feel any guilt or shame? Because if you lead in by the Lord, you shouldn't feel any guilt or shame.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay to be like, if you are, but be aware of it and want to make that change. Because once you're aware, now you can ask yourself, okay, what is bringing me guilt and shame?
Mhm.
What can I do? And that could even be like guilt and shame to yourself. Like you could be
Yeah.
shaming yourself behind closed doors, and you need to make a transformation and start building yourself up to where
Yeah.
you feel that even for yourself, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, girl, that's deeper, but you know.
No, that was a really great point to make, Mariah.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
because it makes me think about something I say often, which is to use your emotions. Your emotions are a compass to navigate through this world. You
Mhm.
know, and then especially when you're talking about guilt or shame, the Lord didn't make us to carry those things. So really, when you're feeling that, that's a great indication to know that hey, something's not right.
Mm.
I didn't make a right decision, or I didn't go the right way. I made a detour route.
Mm.
I need to analyze. I need to look at myself. I need to look at my situation. And I
Mhm.
need to, what some people would call repent, which is really just releasing and letting go of that burden and
Yeah.
choosing, make a decision at that moment to not do that thing again.
Yeah. Absolutely. And another thing too, real quick, is I think guilt and shame could be something from your childhood too. And it's something like you're gonna have to make your forgiveness and make your peace with.
Yeah.
So like something that you're gonna have to dig into
Mhm.
because like I said, that guilt and shame, could also be linked to when you were a child.
Oh,
And
most definitely.
you're gonna have to address that.
If it's coming from your childhood, yeah, that's It's like childhood
Trauma.
trauma or wounds that you need to heal. So
Yeah.
it looks different, because it looks different than what I just said for the simple fact that that's something that you've been carrying for years. So it's going to take some
Hmm.
time and some processing to release it.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. There's this lady that I like. Her name is Brene Brown, and she specializes in talking about guilt and shame. She does a lot of TED Talks on YouTube. You should check her out.
Yeah, for sure. I will.
Brene Brown. She also
Grenade.
has a book. I think she has a couple books on um, guilt and shame. Um,
Mm.
I can't remember the names of the books, but I know there was one of them that I wanted to purchase.
Girl, you had me at TED Talk. Who don't like a good TED Talk? You might need to text me the name though, so I remember after this.
Brene Brown.
I don't have nothing to write it down with right now.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right, y'all. Where were we at?
I think we're at 30, girl.
Okay, 30.
I think so. Oh,
Uh,
wait. No.
not drinking on
No,
your
no,
no.
no. We are at 28, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. 28. Okay. All right, let's finish this. And I will send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites from before you. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate and the wild beasts multiply against you. Little by little I will drive them out before you until you have increased and possessed the land. I will set your border from the Red Sea to the sea of the Philistines, Philistines, I don't know, and from the wilderness of the Euphrates, for I will give the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them and their gods. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, I will surely be a snare to you. Dang, did I glitch out? Ooh,
I mean, I can hear you. Oh, you did freeze for a second, but I heard you clearly.
dang, now this phone don't want to act right. Um, hmm.
I do find it interesting though, because the way that the Lord just said how you are to establish new grounds is like they did talk about going in and breaking the pillars, but they said that they're not going to run them away a year before you get there. You're going to get there and they're still going to be there, and they're going to slowly run them away while you slowly take over.
Yeah.
So, in that process, you're probably going to be experiencing some of the things that are happening to the other people as if it's happening to you, but you have to know this isn't about you and it's not for you.
Hmm.
Um, it's because of you. You're supposed to be taking over this space.
Um. Yeah. Well, what I was hearing too is like he has to play the part, and like you said, slowly dictate, like slowly do his work, and that the Lord is not gonna come. Like he has to put in work, and he has to empty that land somehow or transform a lot of people to get him on his side, on God's side, and um and then once he does that, and then he also, I don't know what they were talking about, these animals. I don't know if they're literally talking about the animals, but trying to say about multiply, the wild beasts multiply against you. Wild beasts multiply against you. I don't know that, but it sounds like to me he got to put in that work before the Lord's gonna come in and help him further. If that makes sense, like I don't know. Um,
Wait, say that again?
so basically, the Lord was like, "I'm gonna help you, but it seemed like you got to put in 1 year of work yourself so that the Lord can come in and like he basically, it sounds like to me, he wants him to like to have a lot more people on his side with his God, and then the Lord, if he needs further help, then the Lord will come in and assist him if it reaches at that point. I don't know. Did you not see that? So I'm this is coming from the line of 29. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year unless the land becomes desolate and the wild beasts multiply against you. Little by little, I will drive them out from before you until you have increased and possessed the land. Oh, so he will help him little by little, but he's not going to give him a bunch of help because he wants him to put a lot of work. That's what it sounds like to me.
I think. Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I think I understood that differently
Mm.
because that's what I was talking about when I was saying. Um, that's what I was talking about when I was saying. So they're not going to push the. They're not going to push the old ways of being out before, like a year before you're ready to come in. Like you're already prepared. You got to come in unprepared.
Mhm.
And as you're coming in and you're starting to put in work and you're starting to do things, the Lord is slowly driving away the old. But you have to start. You have to come in first and you have to start.
Mm. Yeah.
That's kind of how I took that.
Okay. It's kind of similar.
Yeah. So,
Good.
yeah, this was a good one.
Mhm.
I think out of all the laws, I do like, excuse me, I guess, well, I guess this last part wasn't a law. It's a conquest of Canaan promises. So these are more promises.
Yeah.
Which now I take it as these are the promises if you keep the laws,
Yeah.
which makes it more digestible.
Yeah.
I think
I,
it's necessary to have all those laws and then put it in perspective so
mm.
people know. But I just also think it's interesting how there's more laws than the commandments.
Oh yeah. And it makes sense though because um I guess in the sense that there's just so many ways that you can get influence and there's so many
Yeah,
loopholes and stuff and people are so manipulative and just
trying to make ways around it.
yeah, and
Mhm.
they have to literally go with the loopholes and go with what could happen. This
Yeah,
and they just have to include it.
yeah,
See? And it's like what they say, the devil works in mysterious ways or is always patient and learning and lurking,
yeah.
trying to find a way.
I
Get,
personally think that these probably are something to study. Like, I know we just read over them and we recorded this so people can go back anytime and listen. But, like, I think it would be, like, when you talk about the laws, especially because it's in the second book and we're just talking about universal laws. I think that these apply to just universal laws or, the laws since the beginning of time, the laws that are still active now. I think there's something to study just for the simple fact that um I'm coming in perspective to believe that, when it comes down to the laws from the Bibles, these are laws not only on a physical standing point in this material world, but on an ethical, a spiritual and emotional standpoint.
Mhm.
Like it probably applies to more areas than just the blatant obvious. You know what I mean?
Say that last line again.
Like it probably like these laws probably apply to more areas than just the physical, what it just said.
Yeah.
Like how we were referring to the pillars, they could be physical pillars, but these are also, could also be like,
Mhm.
value pillars.
Mm. Yeah.
So they can apply to different areas in your life, physically, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah.
Basically, I'm just saying I think these are something to study.
Yeah. I think also like I think my overall takeaway with like, you know, what I read to is to kind of lead your life the way you would want, our Lord, our creator to like how you would want him to see like how you're living your life and be proud of
Yeah.
that, treating yourself like you are God, because at the end of the day, God is inside of you and you
Mhm.
are his image. And and also taking that day for rest for your so you can reset mentally. And as we continue to read, like we keep hearing it, 6 year I mean 6 days or 6 years you put in work, and on the 7th year you get to reap the benefit, you know and you may have a lot of work right now, but right now you can start doing 6 days of hard work and take that day for rest for yourself to reset.
Yeah.
Because like if you do not reset, you're going to be mentally burnt out, and you're
Yeah.
some type of way because you're not taking that time and space for yourself and for your reflections and to undress your feelings and your thoughts.
Yeah.
And I can definitely say, I've had many cycles where I'd be working, and then forget to take, time out for myself. And you'll feel that really quickly. You will feel it if you do not take a day for yourself.
Yeah.
So just imagine the people who are all work, taking care of the family, the kids, going to work, surrounded by everybody else's thoughts and actions and all this, and then you're not even taking you're not gonna know who you are at the end of the day. You're not gonna know who you are. You're not gonna know where you're at. You're not gonna know where you're going. You're not gonna know your reason, your purpose. You're gonna be lost in the sauce, confused, walking around questioning like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Literally. But that's what I took away. That's what I took away.
Yeah. That was good. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Good show.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this
But
was good.
it was good. I
We
felt
had some good, deep conversations the last 3 days.
it's a reason. I think as we're finishing up this year, we're in December. I think there's going to be a lot of good discussion.
Yeah.
I think the Lord is just going to be very present and direct.
It's
And I
a
think,
it's a new season, and it started this month. Don't wait until January. It started
mm,
this month.
it starts this.
Prepare ahead. If you haven't already started, start this month. Prepare ahead. Don't wait till January. Bro.
Yep. Start right now. Right now, wherever you're at,
It's a new season.
start writing down something.
Mhm.
Start thinking about something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well, Mariah, you want to pray us out of here?
yes, Lord, I just ask that you continue to be present with us. Continue to unveil yourself and your message and your knowledge to us, um you know whenever we need them. Continue to redirect us if we get miswayed into the wrong direction, Lord. Protect us from people who are trying to misguide us, Lord. Show us that they are not your people, meaning they're not our people, and we may need to, distance ourselves from those people. And I just pray that you protect your people. Give us the energy that we need to continue our days, Lord. And I just ask that you heal your people who need healing, so that we can have the strength to spread your word and to lead our lives in your image, Lord. And I just ask that you continue to give us hope and faith in our darkest times, for when we really need to feel that, and we need to feel your presence, so that we don't have any doubt to you or to ourselves, so that we can persevere through those dark times and find the light during those dark times to get out of that. And I just ask that you bless us and you bless the work that we're doing to better ourselves, Lord. And I just ask that you listen to us and hear us when we speak to you and when we're asking for help, Lord. And I just ask that you be with us all when we're asking for your assistance in whatever we are doing. And I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful for everything in my life and everything that we have. I'm grateful to be on this platform with Lleo, spreading your message. And I just asked you to remind people to be grateful for what it is that they have in their life, big or small. Be happy, show them gratitude for just waking up another day, Lord. And in Jesus' name, amen. Amen. We're working on that.
All right, y'all.
All right, stay
There's
blessed.
been another one.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.